So I know this looks a little bit weird, but this is actually a real technique that's used in clinics for the goal of stimulating fat loss. Basically what's happening here is that she's using a ribbed wooden instrument and then rubbing it back and forth in a specific way that creates a high degree of friction against the skin to try and break down the stored fat in that area so that it can be naturally eliminated from the body. And depending on several factors like duration per session and the specific practitioner that's used, people who go ahead with this can expect to lose anywhere from $30 all the way up to $100.
Can you tell me about your chocolate on your face? What happened?
I got ramen noodles on my face and I lost it.
Did you wash it with chocolate?
Yep.
All right, marathon now 2 days away. To get us ready, we've got a former champ, a two-time Olympic medalist. He's Galen Rupp. He's an awesome dude to talk to. Okay, so you were telling me your average time when you go out and run a marathon is what?
It's about 4:50 a mile, give or take.
Like, that's insane. Is there any point, elite, you're the best American runner ever, one of the greatest in the history of the world. Is there a moment in a 26-mile marathon that you are hitting a wall?
Oh, absolutely. I think like any elite that tells you it's easy all the way through or they don't have those doubts, they're lying. You know, I go through those. It's totally normal to have, you know, start to question things and question, can I make it? Can I hold this pace? You know, I've still got 10 miles to go and I feel awful right now. And for me, you know, the biggest thing has always been about trying to stay present. And I've counted mile markers, I've counted light posts, just any small marker I can get, to keep myself going. And you learn that, you know, you can work through these things. You can't run 10 miles all at once. So when you're thinking, I've got 10 miles to go, all you can really focus on is that next step, that next breath even. And I really try to stay present when I'm running the marathon and keep my mind calm and work through those difficult times.
So I remember talking to the manager of the Cubs when they finally won the World Series, and he had this mantra, one batter, one pitch, one out at a time. He said, if you worry, oh God, if I strike out here and the next guy makes it, we're not, he said, just worry about that pitch.
Absolutely.
And once it's gone, Tom Brady says the same thing, one snap at a time. Same deal you're telling us.
It's just extra stress. I mean, it's totally normal for your mind to want to wander, you know, and start thinking like, you know, I'm a little sore in my quad, you know, is this going to hinder me? Or how can I hold this for another 10 miles, 12 miles to go? I mean, the marathon's a brutal event, but you can only control what you can control in that one moment. Again, you're not going to run those miles all at once. All you can focus on is that next mile, that next water station, that next block, whatever it is that milestone is. And sometimes you've got to break it down to these really small goals. But I did a lot of work at the military in the past, and they had a saying that how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time. It seems like a massive task all at once, but you've got to just chip away at it. And that's always the attitude that I've had.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode number 205 of the State of Fitness. Today is April 3rd, 2024. Thank you for joining me. I hope you're doing well. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. I am David Greenwalt and I'm the founder of Leanest Lifestyle University. For now 25 years and counting, we've been using science and experience to help our clients get to and live at the weight they choose in the body and with the fitness they desire so they can live their best life. For first-timers on these States of Fitness, I can discuss anything weight management, health, or fitness-oriented, whatever's top of mind. It's not sequential, so you're in the right place if you want to hear it and learn something about health, weight management, fitness, you name it. Okay? So I've got a good one for you tonight or this week, and this State of Fitness is my 205th since February 5th of 2020. Without further ado, let's get right to it and highlight some top students for this week. What do you say? Check this out. Goal achievers. Look at this list of goal achievers. These are students in the last 7 or 8 days who have achieved goals. They're 5-week goals. Now I'm talking about their lifetime goals, although a couple have. But these are the 5-week goals that we have on campus at Leanest Lifestyle University. All of these are actively enrolled students. All of these students achieved a goal in the last about 7 or 8 days. Look at this list. It's huge. And then I've just got in the columns there how much weight they've lost so far. And what that means is from their first, kind of weigh in with us till current. This is how much they've lost, not how much they lost in the 5-week goal period. But look at this. Alice, upper left, Alice, 30 pounds. Brian's brand new, 9 pounds down already. Caroline, 28. Charles, 26, kept it off for 1,739 days. Chris, 7.6. Deanne, 23. Doreen, 46.8. Eve, Jennifer L. It just goes on and on and on. Jessica, Joyce, Lance, Melinda, Mark, Mary Lou, Marla, Matt, may as well get the names read. Mitchell, Nettie, Renee, Rob V, Sarah, Sharon, Sheila, Shabana, Sandra, Susan, Tracy, and Wednesday. Look at that list. Outstanding work, everyone. Way to go. Achieving goals. Unbelievable. Look at that list. All right. This list is our maintainers list, and these are students who have achieved their lifetime goal and have kept the weight off. For the number of days you see in the days column, they stayed within 10 pounds of their lifetime goal. For the number of days you see in the days column, they've kept off the amount of weight you see in the weight lost column. So we've got a lot of students on this list. All of these students exemplify what it is we're here to do, which is lose the weight one more time for the last time. So congratulations to all these students for continuing to inspire us and show us that it can be done. It is possible. And so just to highlight, the people in green have kept the weight off for at least a year. The people in orange have kept the weight off for at least 2 years. And the people in blue have earned their PhD and have kept the weight off for at least 4 years. And we've got a newer student on that list. Susan has kept the weight off now for 4 years. She's earned her PhD here at Leanness Lifestyle University. So congratulations, all the students on this list, for being on it for a year, for earning your master's or your PhD. Okay, let's go here. All right, let's get into this week's topic. Raise your hand if you would consider yourself an emotional eater. Everybody's hand goes up, right? We all are. We only differ by degree as emotional eaters, not kind. We only differ by degree, not kind. It fits in so many other areas. We, for all kinds of emotions, high, low, and everything in between, we eat for all kinds of emotions. It's normal. It's a part of what we do as human beings. We're all emotional eaters to a degree. It's only a problem if it disrupts our life, our health, our goals, and aspirations. So in this lesson, I want to talk about how we can use the tool of journaling to go from emotional eater to emotional journaler. All right, so in my 6-pillar model, we've got nutrition and physical activity as pillars 1 and 2. Okay, those are the two above the waterline of the metaphorical iceberg that are the pillars. Those are the two most people see. Those are the two that when anyone ever says, I know what to do, I just need to do it, they are talking exclusively about pillars 1 and 2. They're the only two most people are aware of or try and focus on when it comes to weight management. But so often, managing off-plan eating is going to require steady work and engagement of pillars 3, emotional fitness, 4, why power, 5, triggers management, and 6, engaging support. In this lesson, I'll dive deeper into the power of journaling. I place it mostly under the emotional fitness pillar, but it really weaves together emotional fitness, why power, and triggers management. My hope is that this lesson will add another skill to your toolbox for helping you to become a lifestyle ninja, someone skilled at handling whatever life throws at them in real time, able to pull together mental, emotional, and physical skill sets to win the space between stimulus and response. Imagine this. A stressful event just occurred, a stimulus, a trigger, and instantly you feel the compulsion to consume the trusty short-term fix. It's a conditioned, automated response that always results in regret, progress sabotaged, and long-term pain, but in the short term, provides relief, a change of mental or emotional state, a way to check out, to delay taking action, and more. While destructive to our goals and best lives, thousands of repetitions, often since childhood, have created deep grooves in our brains, driving this conditioned, automated response to become a habit. Now, It just is. Between the stimulus and response is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. It's a quote, I say it probably more than any other quote at Linus Lifestyle University in my coaching, by Viktor Frankl, who was a psychologist who survived Auschwitz, the concentration camps. So often, when the stimulus hits, the space isn't even perceived. For people that are struggling, for people that are on the higher end of emotional eaters, the space isn't even perceived. Between the stimulus and the response, there's a space. And for most people that are struggling a lot, that space isn't even perceived. The pattern is often stimulus response. Stimulus response, no space. A conditioned automated response. A deep grooves in the brain response, again, from thousands of repetitions of the same pattern over many years. But all hope is not lost. It may be a habit now. The grooves in the brain may be deep and strong, the wiring that is. But it's still not a trait like eye color. You're not stuck with it. But it's important to get a grip on it now. The sooner the better, rather than later. The longer it goes, the deeper the grooves, the more firm the wiring. But no matter how long it's been, it's not too late. But now's the right time. Now's the best time to turn it around. The longer the pattern exists, the deeper the grooves, brain, habits, and quite often, the more difficult it can be to change them. As I said, never hopeless, but it's really important. Consider making these changes, gaining this skill set that I'm going to teach, and employing it, executing on it. Consider it one of your why right nows. Why right now? Why right now? Why is it important to do it right now? Because we don't want the grooves to get stronger. We don't want the wiring to get stronger. We don't want the habit to get even more ingrained, deeply ingrained than it is. It's why it's crucial that you really put in the effort to change this pattern now. For triggered eaters, it's not natural, easy, or comfortable to sit in the muck with their feelings. Sit in the muck. What's that? Well, sitting in the muck is an expression that essentially means allowing yourself to fully experience and sit with uncomfortable or difficult emotions without trying to immediately change or suppress them. While it might not sound appealing, there are several beneficial aspects to sitting in the muck or allowing yourself to truly feel and process your emotions. Benefits of sitting in the muck include emotional awareness. Sitting in the muck requires you to become acutely aware of your emotions. It forces you to confront what you're feeling, which can be the first step in understanding and addressing those emotions. Authenticity. Allowing yourself to experience and express your true emotions, even the negative ones, is a way of being authentic with yourself. It's a recognition that emotions are a natural part of the human experience, and denying or repressing them can lead to emotional suppression or even physical health issues. Emotional processing. Emotions often carry important information about our experiences and inner workings. By sitting with them, you give yourself the opportunity to process and integrate the messages they convey. This can lead to personal growth and a deeper understanding of yourself. Resilience. Facing and dealing with difficult emotions can build emotional resilience. It teaches you that you can tolerate discomfort and that emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary and they will eventually pass. This resilience can help you better cope with future challenges. Problem solving. Some emotions, like sadness or anger, can be signals that something in your life needs attention or adjustment. By allowing yourself to sit with these emotions, you can gain insights into potential solutions or changes you might need to make. Empathy and compassion. Going through difficult emotions can foster empathy and compassion for others who may be experiencing similar feelings. It can make you more understanding and supportive of others' struggles. Growth and transformation. Many people find that the most profound personal growth and transformation occur when they confront and work through their emotional challenges. Sitting in the muck can be a critical part of this process. It's important to note that while sitting in the muck can be beneficial, it doesn't mean wallowing in negativity or refusing to seek help when needed is what's best. It's about acknowledging and processing your emotions in a healthy way, which may involve seeking support from friends, family, or professionals when necessary. Ultimately, embracing and understanding your emotions, even the uncomfortable ones, can lead to greater emotional well-being and personal growth. It's so crucial to, at least at some level, be willing to sit in the muck more often, to experience feelings, naming the feelings, asking yourself, what am I feeling? While not using drugs like alcohol, ultra-processed food, and other unhealthy diversions. You're asking yourself, what am I feeling? And you're doing this while you're not using drugs, ultra-processed food, and other unhealthy diversions. With just a little bit of sitting in the muck, you may also buy yourself the space between the stimulus and the response. Buy yourself some space between the stimulus and the response when you sit in the muck so that you can make the better choice of response. The choice that serves your highest aspirations and keeps you progressing toward your goals. But hey, I'm no fan of just sitting in pain, right? Who wants to sit in pain? When everything in your body is telling you that you have to escape, you can't handle this, you won't be able to endure another moment of it, you must escape, you must get instant relief. When every cell in your body seems to deliver that message in those moments when we're sitting in the muck, I'm not a fan of just sitting in pain. Okay? So instead of just sitting in the muck with your emotions, not that doing so doesn't have a place, I'm a fan of finding healthy coping mechanisms instead of compulsive eating or drinking. So instead of just sitting in the muck, I'm a fan of finding healthy coping mechanisms in place of eating and drinking. So I've discussed at other times and places that one strategy for effective coping immediately following a trigger that most often drives compulsive eating or drinking is the 3 Ds. Delay. Take a pause, even if just for 10 minutes. Tell yourself, you can have it, but wait for 10 minutes. If you still want it in 10 minutes, then go for it. Distract. Get busy doing something else. Anything fun, productive, anything at all that can occupy your mind for 10 to 20 minutes. And distance. Put physical space between you and anything you might eat or drink. Physical space, visual space, mental space. Think of distance as not just physical space. I've also said in those instances, as you can, have your why nearby. Have it in multiple places, at home, at work, at office, in your car, on your phone. Have it printed. Have it somewhere where you can easily access it. Have it somewhere where you see it more often, more frequently. It needs to be more top of mind. Remind yourself why going long. We want to go long, not short. We want to go long. Remind yourself why going long, why staying strong, why making this journey and even though and without exception. We want it to be even though and without exception. That's the way to go, rather than unless and until. Unless and until is I'll do it unless the going gets tough. I'll do it until I'm stressed. Even though and without exception is I do it even though I'm stressed. Even though I don't know if I can. Even though I'm not sure of the outcome. Even though this moment feels really stressful, and without exception. I've also discussed how you can use the ABC tool on campus as a form of journaling. You can use the ABC tool as a form of journaling. It gets it out and onto paper. So when you write an ABC, it can also act as a form of delaying and distracting. And you can write an ABC before any first bites. You can use the ABC tool in 3 ways. Preemptively, meaning before a first bite, before there was any action that went the wrong way. You can use it in ABC to, of course, log an event that didn't go as you had planned or as you had hoped. That's a standard way to do an ABC, antecedent behavior consequence. And then the third way is to do it as a win. So it's not preemptively. It's not when the trigger event is actually occurring. Instead of eating, you ABC. It's not after the event when you've eaten off plan, but it's when you win. When you didn't eat off plan and later on you journal about that and you say, this is what I was feeling, this is what the thoughts were, this was the message that the beast, was trying to get me to do, to eat, but here's what I did. And you can do it that way. When you do an ABC, it can not only help you identify one of your handful of triggers, and you only have a handful of triggers, maybe 2 handfuls at the most. You don't have 500 triggers. But it'll also get your thoughts out of your head and down on paper, so to speak. So let's not forget about the incredible importance of commitment too, okay? When you're committed, you've made a decision, a promise, at least to yourself, maybe to others as well. Being committed, rather than I just intend to, I mean to, I ought to, I should, I have to, all of these things that aren't commitment statements. It's not all in commitment. It's I'm doing this. I am doing this. I'm going to do this no matter what. No equivocation. But being committed means you may need to sit in the muck to honor it. If so, I can't encourage you enough to do that. Keep that promise to yourself. Protect your integrity, your character, and keep shifting your identity to someone who nearly always keeps promises to him or herself and to others. In this case, mostly to yourself. That's usually where the issue is. And this aspect, journaling, is what I want to continue to dive deeper in this week's lesson. I want to help you to, and I think by learning this skill, it can help you to shift your identity from thinking of yourself strongly, almost helplessly, as an emotional eater. So shifting from I'm just an emotional eater. That's what I am. Listen, not much, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just an emotional eater. And that's so common. That's so often what is said. And it's just left there as though that's it. There's no possibility for change. That's just who I am. That's your identity. When we use those types of statements, I'm just an emotional eater, you've just stated a part of what you see as your identity. It's a story, and it's something you see as a part of your identity. That's why I'm bringing up this identity aspect. We want to continue to, concurrently with all the other changes we're making, continue to shift our identity into a better answer to this. I am someone who. Maybe now you've been saying up until now, I'm someone who's an emotional leader. It's just what I am. That can shift, that can change, and that identity needs to shift for you to win this once and for all. You can shift from feeling almost helpless as an emotional eater to you can become an emotional journaler. You can change this habit, this skill can become a new habit, new skill, a new go-to, a new countering coping mechanism that is non-food related that can do so much good in so many ways. Why journal? So why journal? What are some types of journaling? Is there any evidence that journaling can really make a difference to our mental and physical health and help us stop triggered eating in its tracks? That it can help us to create that space between stimulus and response, to make the better choice of response, to stay on track for our goals. In a word to all of those questions about journaling, yes. What is journaling? Journaling is the practice of recording, usually by writing or typing thoughts, feelings, and experiences in a personal notebook or journal, whether on paper or digitally. It has numerous science-backed benefits for mental health, emotional well-being, personal growth, managing heightened anxiety, and reducing the urge to overeat. I want to share a couple of minute video with you from licensed family and marriage therapist Emma McAdam. I really like her stuff. Her channel anywhere is called Therapy in a Nutshell. She's one of the few psychology-based experts I do follow. Give her a listen. I think you'll see why I like it and why she has more than 1.5 million subscribers on YouTube now. All right, so let's give this a listen.
Okay, so when you have a lot of pain or distress, when you're anxious or upset or overwhelmed, it's easy to feel like a situation is hopeless or to feel conflicted about what action to take. So I've seen this with my client, right? Like, should I be selfless with my teenager and serve and love them? Or should I set boundaries and demand that they treat me with respect, right? Like, things can feel really confusing. Or sometimes a problem is so overwhelming that we can't even figure out what's wrong. Going to a therapist can help you sort through all these confusing thoughts and feelings, and of course I recommend that. But most people only see a therapist 1 hour a week, and some people can't get to a therapist. So here are 6 easy ways to sort through your issues on your own. Okay, so let's start with the first, journaling. Journaling is really simple. You just write about what you're feeling or thinking or experiencing. Journaling can help you track your moods and identify triggering situations. It can also help decrease anxiety and stress, and it can help you gain a clearer perspective on your challenges. Journaling has been shown to help your physical health too. It can lower blood pressure, it can help your immune system, and it can improve liver function. Writing can help you get to know yourself better and improve your relationships, and journaling has been shown to improve mood and fight depression. Matthew Lieberman, a psychologist at UCLA, said brain scans on volunteers showed that putting feelings down on paper reduces activity in a part of the brain called the amygdala, which is responsible for controlling the intensity of our emotions. Men seemed to benefit from writing about their feelings more than women, and writing by hand had a bigger effect than typing. Journaling has been shown to help people process trauma. In a study with college students, prompting these students to write about stressful or traumatic events helped them reduce stress, improve their mood, and even have better physical health. Other studies have shown that writing about your stress helps people with asthma improve lung functioning, and people with rheumatoid arthritis decrease their symptoms of arthritis. So the simple act of taking 10 minutes every day to write about how you're feeling can be really helpful to your mental and physical health. Okay, the second technique is the brain dump. I made a short video that goes into more detail, but the basic idea behind the brain dump is that when you're feeling really intense emotions, or when you're overwhelmed or upset, it can be helpful to just take everything in your brain and put it down on paper. For me, when I brain dump, I actually use a computer because I can type faster than I can write. And the goal is not to make some beautiful, cohesive narrative, but to just dump your thoughts down into words. Don't worry about spelling or grammar, just get your ideas out of your head and onto paper. Now, you'll probably notice that if you do this, you'll feel an immediate sense of relief, or at the very least, some clarity. Okay.
Good job, Emma. I do. I like her. I think she's just really nicely centered. She's excellent at what she does. She does focus on anxiety a lot. And but anyway, so piggybacking on what Emma had to say there and what she shared, journaling can help us to identify and process emotions. By writing about our feelings and experiences, you can begin to understand the root of your anxiety and identify any underlying issues that may be contributing to it. This can help you to feel more in control of your emotions and less likely to turn to food as a coping mechanism. Writing about stressful experiences and emotions has been shown to reduce the intensity of negative feelings and help individuals process difficult experiences. It can help us to develop a sense of perspective. Taking the time to write about your thoughts and feelings can help you to step back from your anxiety and see it from a different perspective. This can help you to gain a clearer understanding of your situation and make more rational decisions. It can help improve self-awareness. Journaling can help you to become more aware of your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors by providing a safe space to explore them. This can help you to identify patterns and triggers that contribute to your anxiety and overeating. It can help reduce stress and anxiety. The act of writing itself can be a calming and therapeutic experience. The focused attention on your emotions can help to reduce the intensity of your anxiety and promote a sense of well-being. Writing about thoughts and feelings can reduce stress hormones like cortisol and improve your ability to cope with stressors. It can help you to develop coping mechanisms. Journaling can help you to develop healthier coping mechanisms for dealing with anxiety. This can help you to break the cycle of eating to cope with stress and develop more effective strategies for managing your emotions. It can help enhance creativity. Journaling can spark creativity by allowing you to freely express your thoughts and ideas without fear of judgment or criticism. It can help improve problem-solving skills. Writing down your thoughts and feelings can help bring clarity to your problems so you can develop effective solutions. It can help improve memory and comprehension. Writing about experiences and emotions can help you to better remember and understand them. It can help you to improve sleep. Journaling helps calm your mind before bedtime, making it easier to sleep well by releasing worries and promoting a positive mindset. It can help strengthen the immune system. By decreasing chronic stress, journaling indirectly boosts your immune system, helping you stay healthier and make better lifestyle choices. And it can enhance self-esteem. Keeping a journal allows you to track personal growth and achievements, challenging negative self-talk and improving self-esteem. So, while I'm shining a brighter spotlight on journaling as a coping mechanism instead of eating or drinking, there are many types of journaling. Free writing is one. This involves writing whatever comes to mind without worrying about grammar, spelling, or punctuation. The goal is to write without stopping or editing for a set amount of time, usually 10 to 20 minutes. Gratitude journaling is a way. This involves writing down things you're grateful for each day, whether big or small. This can help cultivate a positive outlook and increase feelings of well-being. Prompt-based journaling is one. This involves using prompts or questions to guide your writing. For example, you might write about a challenge you overcame, a goal you achieved, or something that made you happy. Art journaling. This involves combining writing with art, such as drawing, painting, or collaging. This can be a fun, creative way to express yourself and process emotions. Reflective journaling. This involves reflecting on past experiences and how they have impacted you. You might write about a difficult decision you made, a mistake you learned from, or a moment of growth or self-discovery. There's bullet journaling. This involves using symbols and bullet points to organize your thoughts and tasks. This can be a helpful way to stay organized and track your progress toward goals. And emotional release writing. Write, "I feel," and then let the words flow uncensored. Tell the truth and don't hold back. Just get out whatever it is, whatever's weighing on you. It can be good stuff too, like when you're excited. Whatever you're excited for in the future and what's going well. So there are many ways to approach journaling, and what works best for one person may not work for another. You can buy a journal, and there are many different styles. You can also just use your phone or a computer. You can use an app. There are lots of apps out there. Don't worry if you'd rather type than write it. The method matters less than doing it. You don't have to journal every day. A few do, most don't. Journal as a habit or whenever it strikes you. Okay? Journal instead of eating or drinking. Seriously, journal instead of eating or drinking. Become an emotional journaler. Okay? Shift that identity. Use this skill set. Become the lifestyle ninja. And when it comes to replacing the conditioned automated response of eating or drinking when a trigger occurs, I strongly encourage you to journal instead. Use it when a trigger hits as a coping mechanism, to delay and distract, to avoid the first bite, and get all of the other advantages that I've discussed in this lesson. Focus on expressing your emotions and thoughts about the situation that are causing the anxiety. Don't be afraid to get emotional or write about difficult topics. Don't judge yourself for your thoughts and your feelings. No censoring. And you can start it with, "I feel," and just let it flow from there, or just start writing. Just begin writing, and the words will come. And if they don't come, don't force them. Just start and see how it goes. Remember, there's no right or wrong way to journal. The most important thing is to find a method that works for you. Just go with something you're comfortable with, or something that you get comfortable with. Like most things, it isn't necessarily comfortable at first. We can't expect to be an expert on day one at this, or for it to feel awesome on day one. We might get that. You might get that. But let's not expect that. Let's go into it, though, for the utility of it, for the benefits of it, and consider it a form of medicine, so to speak, a form of therapy, a form of a skill set that we're employing that can help us to accomplish our goal and continue to progress. And please, if you haven't tried it in place of the conditioned automated response of using alcohol and or ultra-processed food to cope with triggers, please give it a try. It's a science-backed strategy. It really is science-backed with many proven benefits. It's something you can do instantly, in real time, and it's even free. And ultimately, last but not least, consider that journaling, when triggered, can help you shift from emotional eater to emotional journaler. Think about that as a part of your identity. Think about that. From former emotional eater turned emotional journaler. It's kind of got a nice ring to it. So I really see journaling helping in at least 2 of the 6 pillars. I see it helping in pillar 3, emotional fitness, and pillar 5, triggers management. Not only can journaling, this is pillar 3 stuff, not only can it possibly help increase our feeling of authentically good, increase resilience within us, provide a healthy emotional outlet, and help us to have more bandwidth to be able to see the space. And then have enough bandwidth to be able to pause in the space, and then enough bandwidth to make that better choice in the space. But first, we need to be able to at least see the space so it's not stimulus response. Stimulus response. And journaling can help us with that on the emotional fitness side of things. It can help us to win the space between stimulus and response. Pillar 3 elements. But it also helps with Pillar 5, triggers management. By becoming an emotional journaler rather than an excessively emotional eater, because you're still going to be an emotional eater. We're all emotional eaters. Again, we differ by degree, not kind. All right. And if it's not getting in your way, live and let live. You know, be a human being. You're an emotional person. I'm an emotional person. We're all emotional in certain ways. And it's all good unless it's not. And that's what I'm talking about, unless it's not. Okay? So rather than being the excessively emotional eater, use journaling as a tool. And it is a tool for the in the moment, like a trigger situation's occurred. You can journal. All right? An in the moment situation occurs, a trigger situation occurs. You can use journaling as an in the moment coping mechanism that isn't alcohol, ultra processed food. You can avoid the first bite when you're triggered. And it definitely can help with the 3Ds, delay, distract, and distance, which can also help to manage a triggering event. Pillar 5 is all about triggers management. Journaling can help with that too, no doubt. That's it for this week. That's it for this lesson. Hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you next time. Find me on campus if you need anything. You know I'm here for you. So until next time, let's focus on what we want. Let's be grateful for what we already have. And remember, it's all happening perfectly. Bye-bye. Have a good night.